All right, so I went on to the Brave browser, and I think we can get this. Oops. All right, here we go.
This is Channel 7's Eyewitness News with Ernie Anastas and Kaiti Tong, Corey McFerrin with sports, Storm Field with weather, and the Eyewitness News team.
Good evening, I'm Kaiti Tong. Here's what's happening. Princess Diana arrived in New York tonight for her first visit to the Big Apple. Traveling without her husband, Prince Charles, the primary purpose of Diana's visit to New York is to give British trade a royal boost. Well, that mission began tonight.
All right, she came on to give, this is some, I went on to Brave. Her main purpose was to give British trade a boost. So people within the government would be ultimately responsible for that, which I believe at the time was Margaret Thatcher in '89. And well, I don't know how it works for you guys, but we have different departments and positions here. So she came over to work on trade for Great Britain. Meghan and Harry go to NYC to promote a book called The Bench. Diana goes on behalf of the British government to promote trade. That's very significant.
Tonight, we have two reports, beginning with Kathy Wolf.
Princess Diana stepped off the Concorde with a demure smile that is practically her trademark. It is her first visit to New York City. The scene at Kennedy Airport tonight, quiet, stately, a small group of dignitaries on hand to greet her. Her next stop would be a little more like New York.
All right. Quiet dignitaries. And you could tell she was like, wow, this is a big deal. You know, she looked a little shy. All right, let's go back again.
Her trademark. It is her first visit to New York City. The scene at Kennedy Airport tonight, quiet, stately, a small group of dignitaries on hand to greet her. Her next stop.
So she meets dignitaries. Now you've got UN people and diplomats there, as opposed to Meghan Markle having TMZ there. You know, and people think I'm a fuddy-duddy. I don't think so. You know, as I got older, I matured, She was born in 1961. I believe still would have, if she was still alive, would have still been involved somehow with the British government. I even believe that it's possible. No offense to you guys, but things I've been reading X posts, and it seems to me as though things are almost as bad as what they were when Biden came in. But we'll continue on. She's got her coat buttoned.
Stop would be a little more like New York. Outside the Equitable Center on 7th and 51st, police held traffic for her motorcade and contained hundreds of people who lined the barricade.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so glad I found this. I really am.
We're anxious to see her. She's a beautiful woman.
Okay. Oh, is my internet going to go on me now? Of course it is.
It's commotion for her, like for them to stop all traffic and everything.
And Kaiti Tong, Corey McFerrin with sports.
Okay. Well,
Visit to the Big Apple. Traveling without her husband, Prince Charles, the primary purpose of Diana's visit to New York is to give British trade a royal boost. Well, that mission began tonight. We have two reports, beginning with Kathy Wolf.
Princess Diana stepped off the Concorde with a demure smile that is practically her trademark. It is her first visit to New York City. The scene at Kennedy Airport tonight, quiet, stately, a small group of dignitaries on hand to greet her. Her next stop would be a little more like New York. Outside the Equitable Center on 7th and 51st, police held traffic for her motorcade and contained hundreds of people who
Did you guys see that?
for tonight.
I know,
Quiet,
I know I'm
stately,
bothering
a
you.
small group of dignitaries on hand to greet her. Her next stop would be a little more like New York. Outside
And Megan was on a 2-hour high-speed chase through the streets of New York City. Megan, you're full of shit. I don't care what that letter was that was sent to the British people. I don't even know if that letter is real. People in these positions in 2024, I know Thomas 23 told me to be really careful with what I'm saying. I can say that people in these positions, Thomas, if you're listening, if you think I'm doing something, tell me and I'll pull it down immediately. I know a lot of people, people in these positions have been, or, you know, it is quite possible in the realm of things that these people lied. And it's not uncommon.
Outside the Equitable Center on 7th and 51st, police held traffic for her motorcade.
You see that, Megan? City buses were held up. People were probably running late to do whatever, you know, relieve their babysitter, go to a cocktail waitress job, go to the theater, whatever. But Megan claims see, this is real life, and that's fake, psychotic, paranoid life.
And contained hundreds of people who lined the barricades waiting to get a glimpse of England's future queen.
We're anxious to see her. She's a beautiful woman.
I want to see if my girlfriend looks a little like her.
I don't know, I think it's a lot too much
Woo!
commotion for her. Like, for them to stop all traffic and everything.
Many spectators waited the better part of an hour to get a glimpse. And then finally,
Did we ever see anything like this for Sparkles and that stupid bald prince that tries to cover his hair? He tries to cover it up and he looks worse. I'm going to go ahead and say William with the beard is a plus for me.
Princess Di was swept into the 50-story tower for a reception. The lights flashed and the reporters called out a couple of questions but got no response. On the top floor, 150 fashion heavyweights greeted her. The reception actually had nothing to do with fashion and everything to do with British trade. It was hosted by the largest knitwear manufacturer in Britain. Diana's appearance was a goodwill gesture designed to encourage American merchandisers to buy British products. She stayed approximately 45 minutes.
I will tell you, New York City would have been the place to do that. Because, just of what I know, and I know you guys wouldn't believe me anyway. I mean, I don't know. There was almost a year period where because you guys wouldn't even fucking believe me if I told you. Yeah, I worked in an office for maybe 9 months. I did go back to my old job. They had me back, no problem. I worked for an insane man. But all the big corporations, most of them anyway, you know, they're all in New York for at that time department stores, which I think are far superior to the crap that you see online right now. Although, if you can think of I did buy a sweater. It was well over $100 and I really like it, on a website. But it's a brand that I know Macy's carries. But let's continue back to this Diana stuff.
5 minutes, but never said anything our microphones could pick up. Oh well, maybe tomorrow. In Manhattan, Kathy Wolf, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
I'm Tappy Phillips with Daniel Strong. The only thing royal about Strong is the royal blue of his New York City police uniform. Strong is a member of the Police Emergency Medical Squad, and he says he and Diana Spencer share an ancestor 12 generations back.
Follow her in the newspapers, and we try to have her join our Strong Family Association.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
A portrait of Princess Diana window on 34th Street, and at Oliver's restaurant, Danish-born daughter Rasmussen.
Oh. All right, we'll put it back. You guys will be mad at me. Everybody tries to look like her. It'll come.
A look-alike contest. Truly a look to die for.
No.
Tappy Phillips, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And we'll have complete coverage of Princess Diana in New York tomorrow on Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 11.
Good evening, I'm Ernie Anastas, and here's what's happening. It is a royal night in New York. Princess Diana out on the town, turning heads in her elegant white gown. She has been the guest of honor at two galas tonight, one in Brooklyn and the other in Lower Manhattan, which is still going on. Kathy Wolf is live at the Winter Garden in the World Financial Center in Lower Manhattan to tell us all about it. Kathy?
Ernie, it's quite a sight. Hundreds of guests have been arriving for dinner here. It's a gala event. It's a benefit for the Welsh National Opera. The limousines have been pulling up with all of New York society notables and the celebrities. You can hear the sirens going on.
I want you to compare that to Meghan and Harry going to an event honoring Her Highness, Her Royal Majesty. I know. She was a woman of vision, and she and Harry went to New York to get that Woman of Vision award with Steinem. How often is she in the news right now? Does Meghan realize that she's like almost, below human temperature? Okay, here we go.
Going on in the background. People are still arriving here. The security is extremely tight. And now here, Princess Diana is walking down the steps. She's walking down a long flight of marble stairs that's inside. What you're seeing now is a live picture inside Winter Garden here at Battery Park City. Princess Diana looking every bit the princess, gorgeous in her white gown. She comes down the steps. That was a treacherous 40-step flight of stairs, but she looks as though she's made it with no problem. We asked earlier this evening if she was going to have any trouble with it. They said no, she's a princess. She's a pro at this kind.
Yeah, but she wasn't wearing 7-inch stilettos either. Most likely she was wearing a very low heel, as I've seen her do. Well, all of us that worked in the city at least wore heels like that because we were running from bus to bus to this to that. Or boots in the winter, really, if it was bad. Or tennis shoes, but for the most part, if you were on your feet all day at an office job, you had shoes like that on. Exactly what she has been seen wearing. All right, let's go.
This kind of thing. There she is. She's accepting some flowers from a little child. She's going to enter the dining area now, where she and the other guests will be served roasted breast of capons, among other things, and an elegant dessert. Both the children are moving away from her now. You can see Princess Diana, a mature member now of the titled aristocracy. Quite a different sight that we saw of the shy girl who walked down the aisle in 1981 to say her vows with Prince Charles. All of this is a very glamorous event, of course, and well suited to royalty, but not everybody was impressed by this. Celeste Ford has more on a very different kind of reaction.
Oh!
As Princess Diana arrived at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, she was greeted by thousands of onlookers, not all of them fans.
Princess Di! British murderers!
These 500 protesters want the Brits out of Northern Ireland. Their numbers include the first woman to lead the St. Patrick's Day parade. She was just elected earlier this week.
I'm here because that young lady, nothing against her personally, is for what she stands for. A princess, a royal family. The whole thing is ridiculous. I can't believe American people get so excited over royalty.
But most of the crowd fawned over the princess.
So if Meghan Markle thinks she's had it bad, what kind of state of mind would she have been in had she encountered something like this?
This threesome managed to get inside the auditorium for a closer look.
The princess, a fairy tale, right? It's like a dream come true.
Others waited outside, some for hours, despite the cold.
That's a crub.
Why do you want to see her?
I don't know. I think she's she carries herself well, and she's a person who can look up to.
Why do you want to see her so bad?
Why? Well, I think she's the most brilliant. I think she's the most brilliant person, there is to see.
Reactions to a visit by Her Royal Highness may vary, but there's no denying this. It certainly is an uncommon event, even in New York. At the Brooklyn Academy of Music, Celeste Ford, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Uncommon it is, and here at Winter Garden, the event is scheduled to end at about midnight. Then the princess will retire to the Plaza Athénée on the Upper East Side, where she's been staying. That's all for now. I'm Kathy Wolf reporting live with the princess in Lower Manhattan. Now, back to the studio.
Well, Princess Diana leaves us tomorrow, but not before a visit to Harlem Hospital at 10 in the morning. There she'll meet.
Now, this is what pisses me off. Just, I know damn well I put this up on a video perhaps before my accident, not that long ago, let's put it that way. And right now, when I put in Princess Diana Harlem, I get nothing. Because it could easily be compared to Sparkles and her fucking flop wearing that suit and making those poor 10 children sit on the floor with her husband sitting with them wearing face diapers with his butt crack showing.
She'll meet with children with AIDS. That visit is followed by a luncheon reception by the British Consul General. Then it's off to Kennedy Airport for the flight home on the supersonic Concorde. Her scheduled departure time 1:45 p.m.
So that was called the ABC Eyewitness News Vault. Very interesting. If I can find more, I will post it. I hope you guys got something out of that. It was kind of fun.